Here we are inside the budget lockup, and David and I, after covering a lot of budgets, have had our first excursion, I suppose, through a mythical place called J-Land.
J-Land's a pretty nice place to be, actually, because even though debt in South Australia is going to increase and the deficit's going to go up, it's going from 1.1 billion to around 1.3 billion this financial year. It's not a place where people really have a lot of hardship. In fact, according to Jay Weatherill, debt's actually coming down. Well, it's not. Debt's going up. It only starts to come down in the out years. And that raises a whole lot of questions about the reliability of the government's forecasts. But for the time being, he's saying we're not going to cut. And if you're fixated on debts and deficits, that's because you have a different set of priorities to Jay Weatherill.
That's right. He says you can bang on all you want about debt and deficit, but the choices are to take tough decisions effectively that hurt people. And this is a budget that is an election budget. Now, it's not a traditional election budget in that there are not a lot of goodies in it, but it is an election budget in a tough climate where he seeks to cushion the impact of the economy and cushion people from the impact of the economy. And that's what we talk about, Adventures in J-Land. He's very soft-spoken up on the podium, very different sales pitch to even Jack Snelling and certainly to Mike Rann and Kevin Foley. So it's an interesting pitch. He's setting it up as an ideological battle. But there are a number of key areas where he concedes, for instance, in the health budget. Well, we set savings targets, but people want a good health system, so we don't meet those targets.
The savings targets for last year meant that we should have a budget this year in health of about $4.9 billion. In fact, it's going to be $5.1 billion. That's a $200 million blowout. But he says that's not a bad thing because people are sick, they need to be looked after. So how you eventually achieve your targets, he's saying, well, just give us time. Give us time and things will turn around. And that's what it's like in J-Land.